let's say that we had 2000, let's make this 2025 to 2025. And then this is going to be 12/31/25 for 1 year. And then I compare it to the previous year and I do a dollar change and a percentage change. And then I run that. So now it's a much more detailed report, but it's still cleaner. It looks more simple than if we did the same analysis over here on the standard balance sheet. So if I did it here, 01/01/25, and then we do it to this one, here to here, boom, and run that. So now we've got, it's both longer and wider, right? Whereas over here, we made it wider, but at least it's not as long. So these are the comparisons we have to kind of put together. Maybe I can say, hey, look, for my horizontal analysis, maybe I make the horizontal analysis with the summary balance sheet instead of the full balance sheet, so that they're going to give more information in this summary kind of format. Or I could do both. I can have this report and, this report, this giving me more detail, this giving me, the summary information. That means that this information is somewhat redundant because you could get it from the longer report, but this is a cleaner report to look at on the eyes. So we'll get into some kind of batching the reports together in future presentations, but these are the things we want to kind of think about. How exactly are we going to batch the reports? How are we going to present them in presentation format versus giving them to a client? How can we make them look as clean as possible using the formatting here, which might include, for example, cleaning up the negative numbers and the name. So we might go into, for example, the customized reports. As we have seen, I would typically remove the pennies for external reporting because they're not usually necessary for decision making. I like to make the negative numbers red oftentimes, and I will typically remove the date prepared, time prepared, and report basis. So I can at least clean it up like that. Those features, as we can see in switching to the modern view, would be under the general options where we have rounding here, negative numbers, and then the footer, get rid of the date prepared and time prepared, just to see it there. Let's go back to the classic view. If I wanted to do more formatting than that, like changing the text or formatting, I could export it to Excel. Maybe I don't like this prior year here. I can take that off if I don't want to. Maybe I don't need this column that says total completely. Maybe I remove that. That's not really necessary, right? That's only there because of this field. So it's there because of the formatting of the database, but it's not really adding any value. So I can remove that. Maybe I could in here remove the sub date. Maybe I don't want that sub date in there as well. So a little bit of formatting in Excel, as we'll talk about in future presentations, can go a long way in making your reports look more individualized. You don't want to get too far because then you'd have to do that every time. But just noting that, we'll take a look at that in future presentations. And then, of course, once we get the reports batched together, we might want to save them, save customization, and we can put them in a group, say like month-end reports. Let's just say month-end reports, put them into those month-end reports and save it. And therefore, at the end of each month, I can easily generate these reports just changing the date by going, say, to the first tab over here in the reports. Instead of within the standard tab, I can go into my custom reports month end, and there is our balance sheet that we can generate nice and easily. So what I might recommend doing, what we might do in future presentations, is to possibly even number the reports to put them in order under month end reports, so that I can just open up the reports that I need to be generating at the end of each month, end of each quarter, end of each year, and generate them and then group them together in a format that I can provide to the customer or client, which might mean that I export them or print them as a PDF file, group them into a zipped file at least, instead of emailing them as 10 different attachments, or possibly I group them together using the management reports, which gives you a little bit clean look, but not a whole lot of flexibility, or I actually export them using Excel and possibly Word together to batch them together and then printing them out as a PDF file, possibly using a PDF printer, which will give you all of the reports on one PDF file, hopefully in a nice, clean, professional look, noting that many clients possibly won't even be looking at it too closely other than until at the end of the year when they're doing their taxes, right? Because they're just trying to get their business done. But it'll look neat, and that'll give them confidence that you're doing the job, that you're here for them, that you're earning your wages, and when it comes time to do that taxes at the end of the year and external reporting, you've got the information set down, ready to go.